Hi, my name is Frank Schaeffer, and as I watched the demolition of about a third of the White House and put it together in my head with the smashing of the windows and the attack on police officers outside the Capitol by Trump supporters, the violence of this administration, whether it's blowing up supposed drug runners in boats without any congressional oversight, knocking down our precious monumental White House to replace it with a tasteless ballroom that might as well have been designed by some prince in Saudi Arabia. This is a very un-American moment. We are in the midst of a national tragedy. And this is nothing to do with MAGA versus Democrats. You know, over 2 million people got together in No Kings demonstrations across the country with no incidents of violence at all on any scale comparable to the riot and the insurrection attacking our Capitol. And without any reference to government agencies that oversee our monuments, this president takes it upon himself to vandalize our White House, not his. It's not a question of what will Trump do. It's now a question of what won't he do. Is there any sacred symbol left in American law or politics that he's not attacked? He's weaponized the Department of Justice against individual citizens who had the temerity to go up against him. His vice president, J.D. Vance, endorsed a book by someone who questions the Holocaust's existence. Everywhere you look in this administration, they are outside the moral boundaries that hundreds of years of American history have set, protecting us and our rights. Someone who can call bulldozers in to destroy a historic monument without reference to the law or precedent. Someone whose supporters can wreck portions of our Capitol building, attack police officers with impunity, and then are pardoned. The lawlessness of this regime is stunning. And that lawlessness affects every single one of us. And it seems to me we need an alternative. And that alternative is in my new book, The Gospel of Zip. Because the Gospel of Zip, based on the way dogs get on with humans, and humans who want to stay married and love their children get on with each other, is based on trustworthy relationships instead of the arbitrary flailing that we see in this administration. If you've watched my commentaries and listened to my podcast In Conversation with Frank Schaeffer, I'm asking you on November 1 to do one of two things, or maybe both. And unlike the president who's selling you bitcoins and enriching his own family with billions of dollars of deals with the Saudis and other people, I'm actually not trying to sell you anything, because my new book is going to be free on YouTube starting on that day, November 1st. Free. No strings attached, no fundraising, nothing. But I am asking one favor of those who follow me and listen to what I have to say, and that is, it will also be for sale on Amazon, and I'm not asking you to buy the book. But if you're like me and you prefer reading a book and absorbing the content that way than, say, watching or listening, then I'm asking you, if you were going to buy the book, to please read it and to review it on Amazon so that people know it exists, or download it on Kindle, also available on Amazon, or listen to it for free and simply send the link to someone. And you can find out where all this stuff is on thegospelofzip.com. So if you want a message of love and reconciliation and peace and forgiveness and the survival of the friendliest rather than the survival of the most brutal and the most lawless regime that this country's ever seen, please help me get the word out about this book. And as I say, I'm not trying to make any money out of you, which might come as a novel idea to a lot of people, because it'll be free on YouTube, no strings attached. But I would like your support for this project. My name is Frank Schaeffer.